I am an extrovert, and social means just engaging, being conversational. It's not about trying to position yourself as an authority or an expert. It's about making friends and relationships. That's like walking into a relationship with your wife and never talking to her, or only talking to her but never listening. So social and selling is about listening. It's about conversations.
Welcome to the Making Sales Social podcast, featuring the top voices in sales and marketing. Join hosts Brynne Tillman and Bill McCormick as they discuss the best tips and strategies they are teaching their clients so you can leverage them for your own virtual and social selling. Here are your hosts, Brynne Tillman and Bill McCormick.
Hey everyone, welcome to Making Sales Social. I'm Bill McCormick.
I'm Brynne Tillman.
So Brynne, who's our guest today?
We have Scott Webb today, and I'm really excited. Apparently, we have been connected for a long time on LinkedIn, and he's been following some of the stuff we've done. But recently, he engaged on some content that I put out there, and I had some amazing aha moments. And I went, man, this guy brings some really good insights to sales and marketing. So we thought we would bring him on and share it with all of you. Hi, Scott. Welcome to the show.
Awesome. Thanks, Brynne. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Bill and it's fun.
I'm
We
the
have
other
a Bob.
guy in our team, but that's
We do have a Bob, but we
Sorry, Bill.
have one, and I do it all the time. So I wonder if I
Sorry
do it.
about
But
that.
either way, we're thrilled to have you. Tell everyone a little bit about you and Kitchen Traffic.
So I've been in the lead gen digital marketing game for 20 years. Built my first website in 1997. And just realized that the internet was where everything was going to happen eventually. Kitchen Traffic is a newer entity. I started it about 2.5 years ago. The only way I can explain it is I wanted something better than just lead gen. And I wanted to be able to create a company, a place in the market where people actually treat their customers like they want them to hang around. And I was in the restaurant business for 10 years, and there's no harder industry out there than running a restaurant. But that hospitality factor, inviting people into your business to stay and linger and bring other people, I just didn't see it. And at least all the companies that I was working with, everything was about fresh meat, new leads, next.
Mm-hmm.
And so Kitchen Traffic is more of a metaphor and a symbol than it is anything else. And so now we focus on the retention, the referral, and the relationship side of selling so we call it the other side of the transaction. And we've been able to prove some theories that if you just actually act like you care about your customers just a little bit, there's a ton of money there. So now we have a system and a framework called Apple Orchard, and now we just teach it to industries of all kinds.
Wow. So who would think that if you actually care for people, it would pay off? Novel concept that we're going to talk about. We're going to dive into that right now. So Scott, the question we ask everyone right out of the gate is, what does making sales social mean to you?
So first and foremost, I am an extrovert, and social means just engaging, being conversational. It's not about trying to position yourself as an authority or an expert. It's about making friends and relationships. One thing that pisses me off most about the companies I deal with is they use social media strictly as a pound and hound mechanism. And they're like, man, we need to buy more ads and we need to get better content out there because we're not getting any conversions. And I'm like, well, listen, I looked at your social media feed and you have like 12 people responded to you, but you didn't respond back. That's like walking into a relationship with your wife and never talking to her, or only talking to her, but never listening. So social and selling is about listening. It's about conversations.
I love that.
And so I'm going to just start asking people. So, hey, are you a pound hound?
Pound hound.
A pound hound.
Pounder. I just put a post up about pounding chicken is like how people treat their customers' inboxes.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
so true. So this is like my third call of the day with different people, and two of them with clients, and we were talking about email. And I said to him, like, as we've been talking, 10 messages have come in, and I'm going to read one of them. The rest, I'm going to delete, because I know they're just garbage. They're just so one of the things that you wrote in some of your writings that I read, that you have a saying there that conversations equal conversions. Let's talk about that for a moment.
So going back to your restaurant days, you have a server, they come to your table and they take your order. Beyond that, if that's all they do, what kind of tip do you think they can expect? Or if you were ever in the restaurant business and you never engaged your customers, basically just brought them the food from the kitchen, anybody can do that. Well, when you start and strike up conversations with your guests, your clients, your customers, I'll call it your relationships and your network, every single time a conversation equals a sale. Every time. Here's the number one saying I get every week. I have a framework in which I reach out to a certain amount of people every month. And inevitably they will say, I was just thinking about you. I was just talking about you. I was at breakfast this morning with this developer in the mountains, and he's building this $25 million condo. I was just talking about you. He wants to hear from you. And so the more conversations you can have with those, call it your list, call it your network, whatever you want to call it, your CRM, I don't care. The more conversations you start and try and sustain always equal sales every single time.
So I'd love to ask a question, because, traditional sales, we've always gone to our clients and said, we're so glad we've been able to help you do X, Y, and Z and solve all these problems, and that now we love each other. Who do you know that you can refer us to? And we have a little LinkedIn program that we run with them to help them proactively get referrals. But how do you help your clients get more referrals from their happy clients?
So this is something I learned a long time ago. When you, and this comes from the restaurant business too, when you have a good customer, we call them regulars in the industry, but when you have a regular, they come in every Friday, whatever, and you, as a management team, work with your staff to comp certain people. So whether it's a glass of wine, an appetizer, dessert, maybe even an entire meal. So you're giving into your profits in order to build the relationship, to build on that relationship. So when it comes to referrals, I comp my clients with an amount of, I call it goodwill and ideas. So I'm always feeding my customers things that are working for me, and I don't charge them for it. I don't go, well, hey, if you join my group this month for $19.95, I'll show you the fastest way to get 5 new referrals. Nope. Here's the fastest way I found this week to get 5 new referrals. And I'll give you the framework step by step. You don't even have to guess, and it's yours. But would you do me a favor? If you know somebody that's also struggling right now with finding leads and new clients, give them this framework, this, cheat sheet, workbook, piece of content, whatever you want to call it. And that share now becomes the lead in to every referral I possibly could want. And so now, instead of going, hey, do you know anybody that could use my service? Because, obviously, we work well together, which is kind of an old referral standby.
Right. That traditional
I'm just
way.
giving them something to share. And then I ask them who they shared that with. Boom. I usually get an email, or they'll be like this. They're like, hang on, I just texted it to my list. And then they carbon copied me on like 40 different text messages. So,
wow. Do you ever proactively, like one of the things we talk about is proactively go through their LinkedIn and identify 10, 12 people they know and just run the list by them, see how well they know some of those folks.
Right. And listen, not everybody in your list is going to be, I won't call it worthy, but the alignment won't be there.
Sure.
And so you're not trying to force yourself to work with people that, don't need your services or can't use your services. But I'm always, I teach my clients to get out of sales mode and embrace educator and guide. So when you become an educator and a guide, you now become a resource versus just a vendor or an end to a service, right?
Yep.
And so anytime that you can teach
Brilliant.
something, anytime you can teach something, anytime you can help somebody avoid a landmine, like, hey guys, here are the 5 things I learned in 2021 that have sucked a ton of energy and resources and profit out of my business. Maybe you should avoid these too. And that little trinket will go out and somebody will be like, oh my God, yes. My inbox is killing me right now. I spend more time in my inbox than I do, trying to run my business. Just something simple. Doesn't have to be world renowned. Doesn't have to be, otherworldly. It's just something simple that's working for you. And then that makes, number one, you relatable and relevant, which are all part of the Re's. That's why I call myself the Refluencer. Everything's on the other side where you are re-engaging your clients, you're recommending, you're asking for referrals, you're building relationships, you're real. It's all of the Re's, right? And I just embrace them all. So if you can educate your clients and your prospects and your list and guide them to whatever they're looking for, even if you're not the solution, that's why you have a list. I have so many people. I used to design websites. I built over 1,500 websites in my career. Now I just refer people that do the websites because I don't touch them anymore. And guess what they do? They send me all kinds of people that are looking for more sales and customers.
All right. So everyone is listening. We're going to do another reword. I want you to stop here. I want you to rewind.
Love it.
And go back and listen to this and think of it in terms of this, that you are a waiter or a waitress and your client is at the table. Would they leave you a tip with how you're treating them? Are you coming to them and just pushing them and think of it in this terms? Are you coming to them and saying, okay, yeah, no, you don't want that menu. Here's my menu, which is my sales process. And this is what you have to choose from. And this is how, and not only you're going to get it the way I cook it for you. What kind of tip do you think you get? So what Scott's telling us here is, how are you going to comp that table? How are you going to bring that table around to want to become a regular? This is gold.
It's awesome. And I'm rethinking another
Love it.
I'm rethinking a step in our referral process. Instead of, there are times where we can assume the call, but if there are times where it's not the strongest referral, but a recommendation, all Re's, right? So that point, there's a step between, which is, hey, Scott, I was talking with Bill, had helped him on a couple things, thought I might be able to bring some value. I've got an ebook that I'd love to share with you. If you're interested, let me know. I'll send you a link. So we do a lot of name dropping with permission if there are large lists, right? But I think this just added sort of a buffer step in there that can glean interest before assuming the call. So you just got us to rethink how we're doing things a little bit. And I think that's awesome.
So good. All right. So let's readjust and let's mix the metaphors a little bit. Let's get away from the restaurant. Let's talk about apple orchards and apple trees. One of the things I read that you think of every person as an apple tree.
Correct. So I live in metaphors. My entire world is painted in words, are painted in pictures. And one of the things that I was taught by a mentor of mine, Jay Abraham, maybe you've heard of him. But Jay is the king of referrals, and he's built a legacy on embracing your clients and your prospects, and instead of just treating them like a transaction. And so as I was working and trying to create this metaphor, how do people look at their customers, right? Are they stats in a CRM or sales figures at the end of a report? But what if you looked at your customers, and not just your customers, people in general, as trees? And an apple tree has what in it? More apples. And if you are trying to generate leads and new customers and new clients, your constantly looking for a source of fresh people to do business with.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's say I have a tree over here, and now maybe that tree doesn't necessarily, we're not even, they're not even a client, but they're a friend, they're a relationship, they're somebody that embraces what I do. They support my success. But all of a sudden, with a little bit of deeper inspection, you realize that that one person actually sells software to 35,000 dentists nationwide. And my relationship with the tree now gives me access, if I nurture it and cultivate it, to those 35,000 dentists. And this is a true story.
I had a feeling
So
that was a
now-
little exact. It was a little particular.
So now I ask my tree, hey, tree, I have this program that I can teach dentists how to find new referrals and new clients through the customers or the hard-won customers and patients they already have. Would I be able to provide that to them through you? And of course, the tree goes, hell yeah, because I don't do anything like that. So what does it make the tree look like? Well, it makes the tree look like a resource to his clients. And so now with a little collaboration and a little cultivation, I have access now to 35,000 plus dentists nationwide. Am I going to do business with all 35,000 of them? No, of course not. But could I convert those into 350 new clients? Hell yeah. So
I love that.
And then think about the dentist. The dentist is now its own tree, and that dentist's wife, let's say she's a business banker at Bank of America, and she has 13,000 business clients, and all of a sudden her tree equals all these apples, and it just grows and grows and goes from there until now you have this huge orchard that you're connected to, and now you're out serving and trying to be a guide versus a salesperson, and now you have access to more apples than you ever know what to do with.
We're getting a little bit of, it sounds like you're at the ocean.
There's some feedback from your
Little
mic
feedback there.
Scott.
But that was powerful. And you know, it's interesting. I mean, we talk a lot about how do you build those networking partners. And I just want to kind of throw in one way, because now people go, okay, how do I find the trees? And one of the ways you can do this is go to your clients and find out who else are they buying from,
Right,
that are selling to more people like them. And, you know, not only is it easy to get a conversation with another vendor who you share a customer with, you feel comfortable introducing them because they're already been vetted by your shared client.
It's the perfect formula. Yes.
Yeah. So I love this. This has been outstanding, Scott. I knew it was going to be good, but this is really good.
Yeah, just real quick. The key is you just have to think of your clients and the people around you and the relationships you have as more than just a transaction. And when you can make that switch and that mindset switch, and you start treating people with the dignity they deserve, and, you know, and looking to serve more than sell, the sales will come. They
When the
always
time
do.
is right.
Right.
That's right out of our playbook, Scott. Right out of our playbook.
Yes.
I love it.
So good. You know, we've been saying this now for the last few weeks. So if you've been listening, it's been a theme. And listen, we're not priming this. The people that we're bringing
attracting these
there's-
people.
right. There's a synergy that's happening, and there's an alignment that's happening, because there's a movement now in the sales world to get away from this idea that every person is just a number. It's just a number on my call sheet, and it's a dollar amount in my
A
quota.
lead.
Right, a need, but
Lead.
they're people on the other side of the
Right.
screen, on the other side of the table, on the other side of the phone. And if we'll just serve them, if we'll come with our notepad ready to take the order for exactly what they want. And listen, if you're not able to do it, go find a kitchen that can, right? So that you're actually serving. This is so good. I've got like a ton of notes that I took, and so I'm sure.
And I just want to add, take the order, that we have to ask them, do you like beef or chicken or pasta? Are you they don't always know what's on our menu.
Mm-hmm.
And right.
Or
And
what's good.
I could play in this all the time, all day long. So a lot of it is helping them understand what they really want and what they really need, and then figuring out if we're the ones to help them or if there's someone else to do that. So all these metaphors are so fun. And by the way, my degree is from Johnson & Wales in hospitality management. And so I grew up in the restaurant world.
I love it. I can tell. You're so hospitable.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it only took me 4 years of training to get there, but
all right,
we'll wrap it up now. Back to you, Bill or
Thanks
Bob.
so much. This was so great, Scott. So just tell everyone a little bit about how they can connect with you, how they can find you, and I guess you got an offer for them from your website about some in-depth training they can.
A gift that they can have and give to others.
Yes. Yeah. So kitchentraffic.co, and I'm on LinkedIn. Almost 10,000 followers on LinkedIn. So just type Scott Webb. I usually pop up. Google me. You can email me, Scott Webb or Scott@kitchentraffic.co. But if you go to kitchentraffic.co right now, there's a download for Apple Orchard, and it's yours. It's an in-depth training worksheet, workbook. It shows you exactly the framework I used to generate 200,000 leads last year alone. And it is, which sounds absurd, and it absolutely is. But when you implement the framework as I've laid it out, you are going to find that one person is connected to 35,000 potential business opportunities for you, just as I used the example with the dentist. And then compound that, because now you have one person that has 85,000 subscribers to their SaaS software. And that relationship now opened the door to 85,000 entrepreneurs that use this SaaS software. So you can see how 2 relationships, over 100,000 new business opportunities. It is absurd, but when you use the framework, and if you just need 5, you can use it for 5. But the framework's there for you. It's free to download, and we have a bunch of new trainings because we're rolled out Apple Orchard 2.0.
Make sure you check out that Apple Orchard and download that. We'll have the list of resources right in the show notes so that you can download and go visit those sites. So Scott, thank you so much for imparting your wisdom. Like I said, this was for me more than anyone else. I got so much out of it. So thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for training us.
Yes, for sure. So, and thank you all for watching and for tuning in every week. And don't forget, this week, as you're out and about, don't forget to make your sales social.
Thanks for listening, and join us again for more special guest instructors bringing you marketing, sales training, and social selling strategies that will set you apart. Don't forget to subscribe to get the latest episodes from the Making Sales Social podcast. Leave a review down below. Tell us what you think, what you learned, and what you want to hear from us next. You can also listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Google Play. Visit our website, socialsaleslink.com, for more information.